In our previous class, we discussed about the improved agricultural practices we practiced during the period of Green Revolution for the development of agriculture. The next one in the improved agricultural practices is the use of plant growth regulators. Plant growth regulators are chemicals that control the growth of plants. It may be growth increasing or growth decreasing. For example, we can see some plants, a small plant having a lot of fruits. Normal growth of that plant is big plant. So we stop the growth and we get more fruit in a small tree. It helps for harvesting. So we use some plant growth regulators to stop the growth of that plant. Some plant growth regulators are auxin, gibberellins, cytokinin, abscisic acids. All these are hormones normally found in plants. We add these hormones excessively to control the growth. Another important one is irrigation. In previous time, before Green Revolution, people do different types of irrigation projects. Irrigation to irrigate to give water for plants. During this time, scientists suggest two main methods for irrigation: drip irrigation and sprinkling irrigation. These two methods reduce the use of water. By using a small amount of water, we can give water for a lot of plants. Sprinkling irrigation means using a sprinkler. We sprinkle the water just like rain above the plant. Some plants needs water above it, so we use sprinkling irrigation. In the drip irrigation system, we give water to the root of each and every plant. We first make pipes lines through the earth and give connection to each and every plant. And by opening a tap, water passing through this pipe and give water to each plant drop by drop. So a small amount of water is enough for the plant growth. Harvesting crop. Crop harvesting is very important. In previous time, we use sickles and some equipments to cut the plant, and now we use many advanced equipments for harvesting the crop. These are the main methods used in the time of Green Revolution, and we can discuss each and every one in detail. Then another one is biofertilizers, biomass or organic manure. We already learned that fertilizers make the topsoil more fertile. This increases the crop yield. Different kinds of fertilizers and manures are used depending on the types of cultivation. Organic manure contains all the nutrients needed by the plants except water. So we add organic manure to the field for getting all these nutrients with less effort. And also, this biomass or organic manure is eco-friendly. It will not affect the productivity or fertility of soil versely. So it helps, it increases the productivity and fertility of soil, and it will not affect badly the environment. Main organic fertilizers are vermicompost, compost, and farmyard manure. Vermicompost is also compost. It is prepared by the use of red worms. It's an earthworm. Earthworm is known as friends of farmers, and we add red worms to the waste, and these red worms convert it into compost. This is known as vermicompost. It's a very good manure. Compost is normally we made in our home, and farmyard manure means mixture of urine, excretion of animals, fodder, etc., etc. We use cow dung as a manure, for example. Fertilizers are inorganic products we made in factories. For example, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. If we add organic manure, we want to add more amount to get a less amount of nutrients. But if we add chemical fertilizers, if we add a little chemical fertilizer, plant get a lot of nutrient from this. But this chemical fertilizer is not eco-friendly, and it harmfully affect the soil productivity and fertility. These are the differences between organic manure and fertilizer. Organic manure, all the nutrients are found in this, but amount is limited. They have to be used in greater quantity. But in the case of chemical fertilizers, only a few nutrients are found, but their amount is more. They are used in smaller quantity. Organic manure can be made easily in the field, but the chemical fertilizers are made in the factories. The cost of organic manure is high, and the chemical fertilizer is very less. The effect of organic manure in the soil are long lasting, but the effect of chemical fertilizer is in a short period of time. The use of organic manure, the fertility of the soil is enhanced, circulation of air increases, and the temperature remains controlled. But the use of chemical fertilizers, condition of the soil become worse. Air circulation does not increase. The temperature also does not remain in control. For using organic manure, no special precautions are needed for doing the work. But if we add chemical fertilizer, we want to take precautions. Otherwise, it may harmfully affect our health. Protection of the harvest. We want to protect our harvest from disease and disease-causing microbes and some other pests, etc., etc. We can go through the steps. Control of weeds. Weeds means unwanted plants that grow in our field. If weeds growing in our plant, it takes nutrients, water, and other materials that needed by our plant. So our harvest didn't get enough nutrients and water. So we want to remove all these weeds. Example of weeds are Parthenium, Xanthium, etc., etc. Some of them, like Parthenium, causes disease such as allergy and asthma in human also. This is very harmful to human and other animals. Control of crop pest and disease. Insects and pests attacks in different ways. They cut off the roots, branches and leaves. They suck the cellular fluid from various parts of the plant, and they make holes in the branches and fruits. We can see all this in our plants. You can go through your surroundings, and you can see different plants by affecting these type of pests. Some pests cut the branches, leaves, etc., and some pests suck the cellular fluid of the plant, and some makes holes in branches and leaves. All this affect the growth of plant. So we use many chemicals to control all these pests. Then storage of grain. We want to store this grain that we harvested. After harvesting, grains need to be stored. If there is no proper storage facilities, then the grain is vulnerable to attacks by insects, worms, fungi and various kinds of microbes. So our effort will be in loss. So we want to store it properly. There are different methods to store the grains properly. First one is by drying. We can use sunlight to dry our seed and protect it. By maintenance of storage vessels, godown, sacks, tanks or vessels used for storage grains should not have crack or holes in them. Chemical treatment. Prior to storage, there is sprinkling of insecticides and fungicides chemicals on godowns and storage vessels. Vessels related to storage. There is a lot of different types of storage vessels available in the market. Next one is animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is that branch of science which is concerned with the management of various methods of better production of food items and procurement of better services from animals. Animal husbandry includes producing proper nutrition to animals and management of issues related to reproduction and control of diseases. Milch animals. Milch animals includes all those cattle from where human receives milk, and also those animals which are helpful to farmers in agricultural work such as ploughing, irrigation, bearing loads, etc. Indian domestic milch animals have two categories, cow and buffalo. Milk-giving cows are included in the category of milch animals. Today we can see different types of animals. Scientists developed disease resistance capacity and of animals and enhanced their capacity to give milk. You can see some special type of cows that give a more amount of milk. The production of milk, the production of new offspring, and the amount of meat available all are increased by using different methods like biotechnology, interbreeding, etc. This increased the amount of and availability of products from animals. Animal reproduction. In order to get animals with a certain desired characteristics in the offspring, parents with desired qualities are selected and made to interbreed. And also artificial insemination is available now. It also offer a high quality offspring. All these methods increase the productivity of animals, and we get more milk, meat, egg, and also wool, leather, etc. from the animal. We use all these materials in different purpose. Egg, meat, milk, etc. in our foods, and wool, leather, etc. for making dress materials, and bones to make fodder and other materials.